Hello, my crafty creatures. Oh my goodness, it is Monday morning and I have power tools. So, on Friday, Thursday or Friday, I think it was Thursday, I ordered a hydraulic jack for my car so I could put its snow tires on. And I just got it, and I'm trying to figure it out, as it were. Cause I got it because it had a rechargeable battery, and I'm looking at it right now, and it's not looking like it is a rechargeable battery. So I don't know what to do. But I'll figure it out. I think I might have to pick one or the other, or buy another cord for both. Gotta love tools. So today we are working on Divine Instinct, and I managed to already move the camera. We're all done black. And I didn't want to move on to 939. So this morning I was going through and I was looking at the two other colors that were decent sized colors for the page. One was 939 and I had already said no. But the other one was like down and across. It's 823 is what we're working on today. It's a very dark blue. But I was like, oh my god, I have to count, because this is the last block of where the black ends. So I had to count up and down to get to where, and here's hoping I counted correctly, because I counted 2 or 3 times and it matched where I was supposed to. So that's where we're going. But this is the outline of the ear. And it's gonna make it easy once it's done, because all of this is 939. And there's a couple spots off camera here that I have to get to that are not, but the majority of the inter-between area of where I'll be working today is 939. So I hate that color. I hate that color so much. I'm gonna stitch for a little bit, and I'm gonna let people round themselves up and make themselves known, because my viewer list is broken. Since I don't watch the actual Twitch website while I'm working, I just work through OBS. My viewer list is very skewed. So it doesn't tell me unless someone makes their presence known. That's why I will always do this, no matter who I think is watching or not, because I don't really know who's watching and not. But I got all kinds of neat stuff to talk about and show people later on in the stream. Okay. I honestly think this week, even even in just the 2 days that I work on this project, we might actually make 10% today. Not today. This today and tomorrow, which would be phenomenal. Because then I could set like a goal for like 11% or something. I don't know. And who knows? We might not make the 10%. I was actually trying to look to see what was going on in my world because I think this week is fairly uneventful other than I'm starting a work spree from let's see. Let's see. Oh. I have to go to my other account's calendar to change my stuff around. Let's see if I can actually. Let's see. I have. Let's see. This week is looking like it's gonna be your average everyday week. I don't have any appointments. I do need to send off a fast email to my psych nurse so I can get more meds. But other than that, because we all know my meds are important. La 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 la. Let's see. I'll do that while I'm talking to myself, as I'll get my meds ordered. Let's see. If I could type today. There we go. So, well, I was holding off till someone that was actually here because as much as I love talking to myself, I don't. I just been making sure all my emails are sent and all that fun stuff. So I found a place in the States. Now, I have nothing against international shipping. Honestly, sometimes I most of my fan base is not in the United States. And I love supporting small businesses. That's not the other thing. But when it comes to some things, I need to start finding U.S. suppliers or even local suppliers, to be completely honest. I found a supplier in Iowa for my connectors. Okay. Oh, hello, Jules. Hello, Kelpie. I found a place in Iowa that has reasonably priced skeleton. And I spent $25 for 5 feet. Now, mind you, this isn't 5 feet worth. I spent 17 for what I got going on here. This isn't 5 feet worth, and I spent, maybe it's 5 feet, but I spent $18. And it's 12 millimeter. It's for my sea serpents and my adult dragons. It's for, if you look on my website, it's for the watermelon dragon and for the red sea serpent. This is the big honkin' stuff. Now, I gotta show you guys this because I've been so excited. So I started my newest, if words would work, I started my latest baby meadow dragon. Oh my goodness. And the baby meadow dragon, this one is going to be the prototype with the armature that is very, very movable. So this is the tail. I only got 40 rows in. And I know, oh my god, only 40 rows. The bodies of these dragons are like 130 rows. So it's very movie. Like this is phenomenal. Just the articulation in this. And I bought 5 feet of this from an American company, small business. This is 3/8 of an inch or 9 millimeter armature. And I found a good, I'm gonna stick with them as if it comes over and it's great, I'm gonna stick with them. Has relatively good prices and shipping time, so it's something, unless I can find a friend who will do it for the price of filament and maybe a couple extra bucks, that kind of thing. But I'm super pleased with what I have so far. Like, the armature is phenomenal. I'm super excited about it, if you guys can't tell. But this is the next, this is hopefully the next step in my dragons to make them more unique. Like, I'm doing this to both the arms, and I'm working on what I ordered from the other site is in the wings. I ordered 1/8 of an inch armature. This is 3/8, so 1/8 is much more dainty, and it's gonna go around the wings of this particular meadow dragon. This meadow dragon's a complete prototype. Mel is very sweet. Mel is in the car right now, though. And I need to look into connectors that are converters. I need a connector that it needs to be 4 points, and on 2 points it needs to be 3/8 of an inch, and on the other 2 points it needs to be 1/8 of an inch, so I can connect the wings to the spine, so that I can have reasonable movement. But this meadow dragon, I used a random number generator. It's going to be that light blue for the body. It's going to be electric blue for a lot of the accents, and a dark purple and or black. I gotta see what I got for purple going on. For the like the ears and the inside of the wings. Now, I was first thinking for the butterfly wings. It's one. It's a set of butterfly wings because that's what the random number generator picked for it. It's it's one of the bigger sets with the swallowtails with the loopy tails. It's not the Luna Moth set. It's a similar one. But I'm super pumped to be working on this dragon, and I'm hoping it's done in time for my last show of this year. But if not, I'll be okay. Blah 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 blah. So it's been snowing. It was actually snowing earlier today. Last night it was snowing as I was trying to pack up all of my stuff. Now, mind you, I have a Prius. It's no secret I have a Prius. And for a lot of my shows, I put stuff on the top of the car because I bought a roof satchel, I guess is the best way to. It's not a roof rack because I don't have a roof rack on my car. It is a roof satchel because I have hooks that go into my frame or in my door frames, and they it attaches to that. So I had to set that up and put all of my tables and my metal displays in the dark. And remember, folks, I'm night blind. In the dark, in the snow. So it was pretty miserable last night packing up and getting home. But I've done all the math, and for this month now, overall I'm in the hole ways we don't want to talk about. But for this month, I'm only at a -30 for what I've spent in table fees. And legitimately, all I'm looking for when I go to a craft fair is to make my table fee back. Because I love to do this stuff. I do. So, as long as I make my table fee back, I'm a happy kitten. But I'm only at -30, and that's honestly very good for. I know it sounds awful to say, and for people who are like, oh, but you run a business. Yes, I do run a business, but it's still a very new business. Most new businesses don't even turn a profit until they're about 5 years old. And even then, mine is only like 2.5, 3. But so this morning, I've been just trying to I have a week break, so I don't have anything again until the 29th. Well, no, the 28th. The 28th is when I'm going down. And so I'm bringing all of my stuff in. I'm taking out what just didn't sell. Like my beta fish, like I crochet little beta fish and I put them in little tanks, and they're fucking cute. And everybody's like, oh, they're so cute. But not one person was like, oh yeah, I need this. So they're not going down to, they're too bulky. They're not going down anywhere. I don't know as if I might make more beta fish. I might have just a pile of beta fish. But I'm not making any more fish tanks because they're too work heavy, and I'm not sinking my effort into that when they get looked at and ignored. But I do like making the beta fish. But I gotta take stuff out of my car, reorganize it. Put some new stuff in. I'm gonna take this week to set up a nice little photo shoot for the new line of dragons, the baby fae. Okay, so I need a catchy name. Do we want butterfly babies or baby fae dragons? Because I mean, they're the baby dragons with butterfly wings. I've been I've been modifying the pattern on my whims, so it's slowly becoming a modernization, an alteration of the original patterns. But I'm starting to learn and get comfortable, and that's when I start modifying. But I have 4 butterflies and a moth. The moth is still not sewn together, but I'll get that sewn together at some point in the near future. But I'm looking for a name that makes sense for the butterfly winged babies. I'm setting up the color that I'm working on is essentially setting up a line for all the other colors. Because from the line over is mostly 939, and from this point to the back is the rest of the ear, because this is the upward, this is the other ear, as it were. The next page is going to be the inside of the ear, and where, funny enough, the main colors are 939 and 820, I want to say. Is that an acronym or a typo? Now, did I turn into Rocky or did Rocky turn into me? Oh, okay. See, look, I learned something. I figured that's what it meant, but you know what assuming is. And I've probably heard it out loud, but I've never seen it spelt out. And so I don't want to call. I've decided I have to exnay butterfly babies, because that is what here in the States. I don't know if it's anywhere else, but here in the States, butterfly babies are referred to babies who are stillborn and or are later stage pregnancies that, for whatever, terminate. So those are called butterfly babies. So I have to exnay that. I just remembered while I was sitting and obsessing over it. and that's insensitive. So that's I'm not they're not gonna go with that. I think they might just be baby fae, um, baby fae dragons. At least for now, until I can think of something more creative. But I have every set of wings made for those, and they're really really nice little dragons. But yeah, I get to do a marathon of work. Stream schedule is going to be normal. Um, Today, tomorrow, Thursday, Friday. I don't have any appointments. Um, Life is grand, and I'm mulling around. I really am, just because of how random it keeps snowing here. Um, Mulling around doing my tires sooner rather than later. Uh, I got my lift and jack today, so my not my jack. Lift and jack are the same thing. Um, my impact drill. Oop. The hard part about like what I'm doing right now is in these downward slants. A lot of the steps repeat themselves. So if I don't highlight the line as soon as I've gotten it done, that's where I'm more prone to count incorrectly and make boo-boos. Well, I don't really need the impact drill. I just thought it would be easier to have a a an accoutrement to um get my car. It goes faster when you have the proper tools to swap over your own tires. Instead of it taking half an hour, it will probably take a lot less, because I had a crank drill, not a crank drill, a crank car lift, a car jack, and that take. I mean, it's not difficult, but it takes a while to get it up where it needs to be. And my hydraulic jack that I had was much faster when I used it, before it decided to be a piece of ass. And today is street sweeping day, so the street sweeper has been going back and forth, including the wrong way. And it just distracted me because it's a giant white item that just kind of strolls by my house. But having the proper tools makes a job easier. The way I was doing it was not impossible, but it took a lot of energy and it took a lot longer. And with the items that I have purchased and that now sit in my right behind me, they're a lot heavier than I thought they'd be. I feel that I will get the job done in a much faster manner. And with it snowing left, right, and sideways, like it's not impactful snow. It's just kind of a dusting and really rather annoying. But it's still snowing, and it's very frustrating. So getting the snow slippers on the beast is a better option. Currently, it is scheduled for Wednesday because I have Wednesday off, and I can do what I need to do. I even have to leave my house because I have therapy on Wednesday, and having it off, I can just throw the tires and the tools in the back, and I can find a nice parking lot instead of my dirt driveway that is slanted downhill. I can find a nice parking lot which is flat and just set and swap my tires over. So that's 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Kind of enjoying this long skinny ribbon that that is going on here, because I mean, I'm not getting a whole lot of stitches, but I'm getting a lot of distance. And another part of me just wants to come home and get it done, like, and that stems from tires full of air are heavy. And even though it is a walk down my porch and across the street to get them in my car, which is much less distance than from my attic downstairs across the street and into my car, it's still longer than I want to go. Part of me just wants to pull my car into the road and zip through the tires and just get it done. Oh, if you're ever looking for anything to watch that's sweet, amusing, and not any sort of heavy content, I'm currently watching Colin and Paige. They have, looking back on their channel, they've done a lot of video blogs about their travels and stuff like that, but they're currently working on building a cabin. They bought some property because they couldn't buy a house, so they bought some property, and they're going to build a house, but they're starting off by building a tiny cabin. And it's just it's wholesome content. It is, they're in their 20s, they're trying to build a cabin, and it reminds me of everything I've ever tried to do and continue to try to do with my house. They are. I can't say my tires are big. I have 15-inch tires. I drive a Prius. Again, I can't stress that enough. Priuses, they don't have big tires, and if they do, someone's compensating for something. They have 15-inch tires. It is not expensive. Well, I can't say that because it is expensive. It's not truck expensive to fix my tires. Yeah. Well, yeah. 15-inch radius is of 30 diameter. I don't. I plead the fifth. I have small dog syndrome, which is hilarious because husband creature is is most certainly not a small creature, and I am, and I still think that I am capable of taking him on. Which no. Yeah, my tires are almost a meter across. It's my brain is going, you know, you're crazy because you are I'm auto translating from imperial to metric in order to have, like, in order to do a lot of my crafting. Like, a lot of the armature I am purchasing is in millimeters. Now the American company I'm buying from uses imperial, they use inches, and I'm like, oh fuck. So I'm genuinely hoping that I can get them to meet halfway in the middle somewhere. I love fennec foxes. They are freaking awesome. Over the weekend, my sister messaged me to tell me that my nephew is now watching My Little Ponies, and I am all for it. Now, I gotta wonder if it's Friendship is Magic, which is a good solid series, or if it's the 1980s version. And as much as I love the 1980s My Little Ponies, what crack was I sniffing? It's kind of like watching She-Ra as an adult. I have nothing against She-Ra. It brings me feelings of girl power. But at the same time, what the fuck were they sniffing? And if I seem like I'm like spacey or I'm not I'm overwhelmed. I'm not burnt out. I'm just tired from between the craft fairs, prepping for the craft fairs, doing the 40 hours at work, being a supervisor at said job, and actually feeling like I'm getting somewhere and doing something interesting or useful. Um, trying to hold all that together and not having much time. So I've been getting a little spacey. And I recognize that, and it's just how we're going to roll for a little bit. As the street sweeper um, cruises by on the wrong way again. Yep, red foxes are not dainty. Well, European red foxes are not dainty. American red foxes are not very big. They are about the size of a silver fox. Kelpie, I have a mission for you, because if I'm gonna do it, I need to remember soon. If you go over to um, Crafty Intentions page, look for her Kelpie. It's in a group series of horses. Um, it has a Kelpie, a nightmare, a unicorn, and something else. Um, Look at it, see if you would like one, and then get back to me. Eventually, all of my friends and peeps that interact a lot will get something from me for free. Um, it's just a matter of time, money, and finding that right thing, because sometimes it takes me a little time to find that thing that makes me go, oh, this person totally needs this. And that's not what I did with Jules and her stitch marker. That was just being mischievous. Jules got the rainbow infinity cross stitch. And Dragon has gotten a couple of dragons. Maine Coons can get pretty big. So Rocky is a dire fox? He's a fox without limits, without bounds. He is unbound potential. Start playing that jock jams. Do 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 do. I love foxes. Yesterday, in my adventures, I met the owner of a liquidation. Actually, it was the store right across from where I was parked in the craft fair. Um, but I didn't have time yesterday because it was shitty outside. It was just yuck, and I just wanted to go home. But I think in my adventures on Wednesday, I might even use the mall parking lot as the parking lot to swap my tires over. He has scrap leather for sale. Now, here's what I want to do is I want to take one of my stencils and stencil it onto the leather and cut it out to have the stencil through the leather, but then I want to the leather with a piece of fabric to have color within the stencil. And then either I can back it on a hoop, or I can back it on a frame. I could even mount it and give it a light, in all fairness. And oh yeah, oh hey look, I've welcomed myself. I love foxes. And I do think the last week, maybe even the last couple weeks of December, I'm going to take a break from streaming so I can do my revamp. Like, I like changing things up a little bit. It might only be a week, it might be 2 weeks. I haven't quite decided yet. But I will be starting in the new year doing a week of Divine Instinct and then a week of Call Dance, so that their work kind of gets balanced out a little bit. I fell really behind in Call Dance this year just because the end of my week just happens to be where it's the most crazy. Yes, that is a perfect description. When I'm out and about Wednesday as well, I have to pick up contact cement because it is what I need to be using for my my hoop art. I've hot glue, just it's good for some things, but it's not good for hoop art. I've been repairing. I've been taking the hoop art out of its current state with the hot glue and whatnot, and I've been reapplying with contact cement, and it's just coming out so much better. I'm able to. It's the slow fast dry, I should say. It gets sticky and tacky fast enough that it holds things in place, but I can also get all the parts together and properly adjust them to where it's taut and looks good. Well, I love her stuff. Like I love Megan Lap's stuff. So that street sweeper is just so loud. I can hear it. It's not even near my house, and I can hear it. The and with that particular 4-pack, I already have the unicorn and the other one. Like I only need the nightmare and the kelpie, but in order to get those, I have to buy all four. And I mean, her pattern prices are ridiculously reasonable. Like for the work that I know goes into making those patterns, it's well worth the price. Like I don't it's just I don't need the duplicates. I wish I could take them out and be like, "Hey yo." But what I look at it is I'm supporting a creator, and I have a more portable version of the book, which I have a portable version of the book too, but it's a whole nother it's a whole nother game. Wonder when I'm going to reach the bottom of the page here. I'm getting close. I'm getting close to reaching the bottom. And this is just the outside line. There's a inside line for this color too. So and we all have opinions on our appearances. Like I I'm very I hate to say I'm not good at looking at people for their face value. I can sit and tell you what you look like. Um and like if I stop and I think about it, I can be like, yes, you're traditionally like I can do like the analysis kind of thing, but honestly when I look at people, the visual part is for identification only. It's like it's your intellect, how you feel, your actions is what, to me, what makes someone attractive or friendly or someone I want to associate with, because it for me, outside appearances fade. That's why like sometimes I will look like a train wreck because I legitimately have not looked in a mirror. Um one day one day someone was like, well, you got a little, I'm like, I haven't looked in a mirror all day. And they're like, how do you get by without doing that? I'm like, oh, I know where everything should be. If everything is where it should be, then I'm not too concerned. It's those little things like when I play with, when I clean the chimney and I get soot. So it looks like I have a mustache. That kind of thing. Or I'm a skin picker. Like that's the thing, is when I get scabs, like I just discovered I had a blister and I'm gonna have to pick the dead skin off of that. I feel my skin. That's how I identify. But when I get too enthusiastic about it, it turns my face all red and yuck. Time number 3. I guess they're trying to make up for the 10 years that they didn't drive down my road. And I gotta say, having the window quilts on the couple of windows, and also having fixed a couple of windows and whatnot over the course of this year, has helped a lot in my house not getting super duper cold. Like, husband creature and I both went to bed around, well, we went to bed around 10 last night. I stayed up till about 11, 12. But even though we were both in bed, we didn't feed the fire or anything like that. It was still 60 in the house when we got up, so. I think the hardest thing right now explaining to people is, because they see that I have a lot of days off from work, is explaining to them that I'm not taking time off. It's like, no, I have a day off so I can go work at the other thing that I spend most of my time doing. And a couple of my coworkers like, wait, it's the holidays, we need more. I'm like, dude, take one of my shifts. If you are looking to have more money, take one of my shifts. I have more than enough vacation time, and I'm not gonna fight you. If you are looking to earn some OT, I am happy with earning some flat rate and just having a day off. Not that it would really be a day off, because let's be real, people. I would move it into other other chores that I needed to get done. Like, for example, in addition to taking all the stuff off the top of my car today, I cleaned the sink and the toilet in the bathroom. I did not get to the tub. The tub, I go bananas on the tub. I take the shower curtains down. I go ham. I go ham on the tub. I take everything out of the tub. I spray it all down. I whip out the power brush, which is just a cleaning brush on a drill. I go bananas. Like, the tub gets cleaned, and I just haven't had the time for that. That'll probably be tomorrow morning. But I also, after stream, I'm gonna head into the basement and pull the wood pile down a little bit, and also, if it's gotten a little warmer, which it doesn't look like it has, but I need to sort through the pile, take some of the littler stuff out, bring some of the littler stuff in so it's easier to start the fire in the morning. Yeah, this is I move at Mach Jesus. Like, I'm not kidding, my friends. I move at Mach Jesus. And that's when my meds are working. It's worse when they're not. I'm almost to the bottom of the page. Ooh, this piece of string will get me to the bottom of the page, and then I can figure out where I need to be over here. But yeah, so John Oliver posted his last show for the season, which I love John Oliver. I'm sorry if you don't, but I do. He has just enough. He's Americanized just enough, but he still has a fuck ton of British smarm. So I love, and he has good writers, because I know, as funny as he is, I know he has writers behind a lot of his stuff. But he posted a new video, and then I watched Colin and Paige, and that took up my morning after my chores and unloading my car and paying attention to the dogs. And I got up at 7:30 today, so from 7:30 to 9:30. And then from 10 to noon, I sit here, well, 10 until whenever I really feel like stopping. I sit here and I chat with you beautiful people, and I tell you what I did before I got on air. I worked Saturday. I did craft fair and work on Saturday, and it was phenomenal. I wasn't expecting to have 2 people working, or 3 people working, but I came in and 3 people were working, so it made it even better. So I mean, I've been hitting a nice stride of balanced work with not too much bad stress at work, because everything is stress. Stress is everywhere. There, I have not had a lot of bad stress at work. Oops. I forgot to change it over to select and not move around, so I accidentally moved my pattern all over the place. I had a great showing at the craft fair, which I can't I'm so very pleased that I was able to get to sell some of my art. Like, that made me happy. I'm super excited to work on my new meadow dragon. Like, I might have to hold off in certain areas because of needing parts. Actually, that's what I actually that's what I have to do today. Is I gotta unload my car and go to the pet food store and get dogs. That's what I have to do today, after stream. Not that I want to, but I have to. Mostly because I love my dogs. and and that is where I'm trying to figure it out the most, is the is getting the articulation placed where it needs to be, and maintaining the shape of well, Pixie was kind of a bad girl this morning. We were playing and I was throwing stuff, and as we know, dogs don't have hands. So they use their mouth as their hands. Now, Pixie was getting impatient with me because when I first get up, I don't move easy. It takes about an hour or two before I can move smoothly. And I was leaning down to pick up her toy, and I was not moving fast enough for her. So she went down to pick it up and give it to me, and she misaimed and she clamped onto my hand. Now, when I tell you I made a loud sound, loud enough that both the dogs ran away into their kennels. And Pixie has been ass kissing ever since, because she knew as soon as she clamped down and hit my hand, she knew what she did. She let go immediately, but it was too late. She had already had that impact, and it hurt. Like she was moving too fast to fully pay attention to her mouth. And for those who are like, oh well, no, dogs fully are aware of their bite speed. She was being impatient because this same dog has very daintily, with the gentlest of pick it up, and has taken something from my hands. She was being impatient, and she rushed, and she clamped onto my hand. She didn't leave any marks. It wasn't a solid clamp, but it was enough to hurt because I'm squishy. And hands are delicate. So she has been kissing my ass all morning since then. Because she does. I will give her that. She feels bad. She as soon as she did it and I started screaming, her ears went down, tail between her legs, and she ran the long way to her kennel. And I had to cool down. I had to walk away because it hurt. Like, it hurt, and she knew better. I was leaning over to get her toy, and she just couldn't wait. So we had an understanding, and she's in the background. I can hear you're telling them about me. But yeah. Mm-hmm. And last night when Pixie plays tug with me, I hurt. I hurt a lot. My joints ache. It's hard for me to move. And when it gets cold and wet like it was last night, it makes it harder and more painful. So when she plays tug with me and she knows that I'm particularly creaky, she is very gentle. She's like, I'm being so ferocious, Mom. Oh, and she's just barely tugging. And there are days where I'm like, really? I know you're stronger than that. So that's when she really like hauls off and plays tug. But she knows, and she knows she done fucked up today. Let's see. No, and they know. Like, it's kind of like, I know if I'm biting hard or biting gentle. Like, you have that cognitive realization or knowledge of hard bite versus soft bite. And my friends, we have reached the end of this line. Well, almost. I have one more stitch. Here, human, you don't know how to do it. But Pixie and Cesar don't generally do that. They with each other they will, because they're brother sister. But with the humans, um, eh, I have the cuddly but not cuddly German shepherds, where occasionally they'll be like, "Okay, I need like 3 seconds of cuddles," and even Cesar is he is very. I don't even. Special's not the word for it. He is Cesar. Um, he wants love and attention, but he also still wants to be strong and tough. So he'll occasionally be like, "Oh, Snuggles, I'm strong and tough," and then he'll walk off like he totally was just allowing the human to give him Snuggles because he's strong and tough. Um, Pixie, on the other hand, will pile drive her head into your side, cuddle for 3 seconds, and wander off. And that's just the kind of shepherd I have. My boy Rune was super cuddly. As he got older, he was super cuddly. When he was younger, he was like, "No, I must patrol the area. I must." So I get it. My girl Britta was very cuddly. She knew the command "cuddle mama." She would curl up right next to my face and let me cuddle her, and it was all very sweet. Okay, I gotta find the secondary line here. Okay. So that's 8, 18, 20. Okay. Be prepared for counting. So, from this spot here, from right here, I gotta count 20 down to get to the. So, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Put that right there, and I'm gonna find another needle to count with, because sometimes I can't count when doing crafts. Okay, so that right there, and it should be 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 from there. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Now, is it a gap of 13? Let me. After that. Oh, that's counting the wrong area. Good thing I caught myself. So, that to there is 10. And 14. One, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, we're gonna leave it at that. We're gonna leave it at that and hope. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. So I should be 20 down, unless it's a gap of 20. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Damn it. Ah, counting sucks. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. So it's a gap of 20. Okay, there we go. I was 1 too high. So should go there. That should be 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yay! I figured it out! Most of the time I try to do that behind the scenes, but here we are. Counting with raw. And because remember, whenever you do a craft that requires counting, you don't know how to count. Okay, so working on the inside of the ear. This pretty much gives parameters of other colors. Like I'm setting up like almost all of this gap. All of this gap right here, save for a couple of spots. And I don't even think it's on this portion. Yeah, all of that space between that gap is all 939. All of it. But that's the reason I did what I did. Is I double checked my up down, and then once I went down just one space, and that's all it really takes to really fuck something up in counted cross stitch is that one space. So going down that one space, nice and even, everything works out the way it should be. I might be able to get the inside part of this done today. Probably not, because it's a little bit more. There's a little bit more to it. But tomorrow, this color will definitely get done on the page, and I have more colors to work with. The hardest thing with syntax counting is remembering that 0 counts as a number. So that if you say 4 spaces over, you have to go 0, 1, 2, 3, and that's 4. Yeah, that's the hardest thing for me to remember with computer counting. Oh, I remember. I actually really was good at HTML. Like base level HTML. Um, I also, um, for me, it's just a matter of using it on a regular basis. I'm pretty sure if I sat down and concentrated, I could get all of my old computer language skills going again and make neat things. But I'd much rather sit and do manual pixel art or crochet. So, I know I know I know feelings are varied across the board. Um, but with Dan, he was picking on me, or he was saying, actually, he was saying that my dragons are better than the 3D printed crap that you see. And mind you, with 3D printing, you have to know CAD. Um, More for the architectural stuff, unless you go and buy the pattern, which I can kind of understand why people are upset about. But um, so crochet, think about it. It's manual 3D printing because it's fiber, and 3D printing uses filament. Um, I'm doing manual 3D printing. Oh, that's some stuff. Actually, I kind of like the older stuff. It made more sense. I mean, the newer stuff you can add if but or if or if not. I do like the if statements. I mean, I like the progression that coding languages have taken, but at the same time, like there's something to be said about the binary of the older languages. Because don't get me wrong, I see I see in all kinds of shades of gray. I get it. But sometimes I just like on off. Sometimes in my life, I just need on off. What do you need me to do? Okay. If not, don't do anything. Awesome sauce. Oh, I've seen CSS coding. I haven't played with it. Like I haven't sat down and coded anything in a good long time. Um Geesh, I haven't even designed anything in a good long time. I've been freelance designing, if you want to call um some of the crochet stuff that I've been doing, because with my moths, other than the colors, I've also been working on their headdress. Um, oh my goodness, I cannot. I don't even want to think about animating with CSS. Like seriously, I would rather learn how to draw. Like I can handle slide in from the left, slide in from the right. Now, cha cha. Slide to the left, slide to the right, crisscross. Yeah, but yeah. Yes, I've amused myself. Let's see. This is the only stitch on this row. Let's see if I have enough for thread chicken. Well, I have enough for thread chicken. Let's see if I have enough to get this cross done. Thread chicken. I do. Woohoo. I and this is dating me and like opening up a whole part of my life that I adore and I miss, but at the same time it took up a lot of time to do. I used to play a game called Furcadia, and they had programmable maps called Dreams. Now the coding in these dreams was a hybrid of C plus and CSS. So I in fact did learn how to animate with CSS on a lighter scale. The creator of the game didn't want like people getting too overwhelmed, but at the same time, if you had the desire to, you could go haywire and do all kinds of things. And I learned how to animate within my map using the coordinates, and at this coordinate put this image, at this coordinate put this image. Hey, if you're on a timer after 3 seconds, if this image is here, put this image here. Like, I know how to do it. I really enjoyed doing it. But God, that's where I learned that notes are important. Notes are very important in coding, because back when I first started, I would just mish them all together, and if I ever needed to change anything, fuck me. But then I started writing in notes, so it made it a lot easier. And it got to the point where people could tell my programming. Like, they would they would know it was me. I don't know whether to be proud of that or not, but it is. Three, five, found one. I hear I'm silently being judged. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Honestly, I can't believe I've made it to 11:30. Like, I'm still going. I'm still like, nope, I'm not tired of this yet. Mostly because it's not black. That sounds awful, but the color I've been working on for the past month and a half has been black. And I really can't tell the difference between this color, but it's not 310. Mm-hmm. Okay, so after stream, I'm unloading my car, and I'm gonna go get dog food. No. My computer's like, you put your finger down a little bit too hard. Do you want to select every single one? I'm like, no. Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna finish this block of 10 that I'm working on. And then I'm gonna call it a day. I'll give all my stats and stuff. Because I gotta go throw some logs on the fire. And I mean, I don't have a lot in my car. When I packed, actually, I had an empty container. I had a couple of empty containers. Because I sold enough at the show this weekend that I had empty spots. So four. One more, one less. Okay. Heading into last line. 3. One. Skip. 6 and 1. Oh. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And 1. I'm closing out the last line of what I'm going to work on today. At least on camera. I might come back. I might have time when I get back to do more, but I'm not banking on it. Okay, let me highlight that and I'll give you the counts I got for the day. Today we started out at 9.51%. We are now at 9.58%. It was a total of 226 stitches, which is pretty good. I mean, I did a couple of lines. Take that if you're just listening, take that as you will. Yeah. I am going to hasta la bye-bye so I can run to the pet store and get some dog food, and then hit up the craft store to get a zipper repair kit that I need because I broke stuff, and see if they have the kind of connectors that I'm looking for at the craft store, so that I can figure out where I need to go from there. But I love you all. Thank you for the gift of your time. Drink your water. Take your meds. Be kind to yourself without harming others. Be kind to others without harming yourself. And tomorrow I'll be showing off some of the stuff I got as trades and purchased from people at the craft fair. But I still have to unpack it all. So I love you all. Thank you. I'll be back